Welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast, number 2 on the charts, number 1 in your hearts. I'm your host, Wesley, and of course, I am joined by my co-host,
Rebekah.
And today we're talking about Survivor 47, episode 5. And Rebekah, those negotiations, in my opinion, were trash.
Yeah. I think, listen, I'm not here to accuse Jeff of having like a favorite tribe or like favorites in general, but I don't know. I felt like when he counter offered with 15 eggs, I was shocked. I was like, I literally said out loud, deal, done. Like, yes. Like, how fast can you say yes? Because getting 15 eggs for free on Survivor is crazy. Like, they were never going to eat those chickens. So, like, that was a really good deal. And then they talked him into, what was it, 18 eggs by the end of it? Like,
yeah, Jeff said,
crazy.
I shouldn't be doing this. And he gave him 18. And I'm just like, no, Jeff should have countered with, you keep the chickens or I'll take them. In fact, if anything, you keep the chickens, I'll take them, and then give them to whoever wins this challenge.
Yes. Oh, I would have loved that. That would have been amazing. Like, what happened to the Jeff who stabbed a bag of rice? You know, like, bring that Jeff back.
Well, see, that was planned. This was not planned. And Jeff crumbled, in my opinion. Jeff crumbled.
He did. Yeah. I was going to make a joke, but I think it's too dark.
Yeah, let's keep it. The reality is if you sign up for Survivor, you sign up for things such as swimming in the water, eating chickens. Now, I get, like, Kyle is a vegetarian, right? So, because he had the vegetarian hot dog. It's like, understandable. Sierra didn't want to kill a chicken. That's fine. Why can't Sam and Rachel kill the chicken? They wanted to.
Also, here's the thing. Yeah, you don't even have to eat the chicken. Like, if Sierra doesn't want to eat the chickens, she doesn't have to. But, like, I do think it actually speaks to, like, this tribe. I mean, Sam even said, I think during the negotiation, just about how, like, yeah, they've got this, like, kumbaya, like, they're all trying to keep the peace, basically, and, like, not rock the boat. And I think that is really interesting because we're seeing that, like, we've seen that a lot with the Yellow Tribe this season. And it led to a pretty big betrayal tonight because Annika thought that, you know, everything was, like, smooth sailing, and then, you know, found out she wasn't part of the core 3 or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's interesting to try and keep that kumbaya, but, like, at some point you are on Survivor and sometimes you just got to eat the chickens, you know?
From the perception of the people in the Yellow Tribe who want to eat the chickens, I think they made the right call, not causing drama over eating chickens. From Jeff's point of view, he should have been like, you take it or leave it on the chickens. You can either take the chickens back with you and do with them as you will, or you give them to me and I'll give them to whoever wins this challenge, who's not you. I think that should have been what happened. And that would have been Jeff. I expected him offer, like, him. I mean, if you want to counter with, you can get 6 eggs like the other tribe. I'd be like, okay, that fair is not the word, because it's not fair to give back these chickens. Right. The chickens. Like, I don't know. I feel like Sierra, and I don't feel like Andy was part of the anti-chicken brigade. I think it was just Sierra. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember Andy's point of view on this. I just know Sam and Rachel both said, oh, wow, we want to eat the chickens.
Right.
Why is Sierra single-handedly getting control over whether, like, okay, I bet if Jeff had given them 3 dead chickens, like 3 chickens worth of chicken, you know what I mean? Like here's chicken, dead chicken already cut up for you. You can just put it over the fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like chicken breasts. Bet you she would have eaten that.
Probably.
Get out of here now, Sierra.
To your question about, like, why didn't Sam, like, just, you know, kill the chickens? I think it's because he doesn't want to upset Sierra. Like, we saw that, like, yeah, but I mean, for better or for worse, like, I don't know. I don't know how long the two of them are going to last. Like, I know they've been so tight this whole time, but I really think, like, once we get into the merge, the pressure of, like, everyone thinking that they're this tight couple is, I don't know. I think it's going to end in fireworks at some point.
They only got to make it like 15 more days. You know, it's not that long.
Yeah.
It's not that long. It's not 39 days. It's not 55 days. They're not in an actual relationship. You know, they don't have to make it that long.
Right.
They just got to make it
They both
Survivor.
have fiancés back home.
Yeah. Well, Sierra,
she
better have one she gets home. Is what she said.
Yeah.
It better be engaged when I get back home or else. It was unfortunate that Sue did not bring up the fact that she is a pilot today.
Oh, yes. We'll find a way to work it in.
Oh, we will. We do need to briefly mention that on Sunday, a very important event happened in all of our lives, and especially in this podcast's eyes.
Yes.
Do you know what you know what I'm referencing?
Would it happen to be someone's like anniversary of the day that they were born? By chance?
No, it was Sammy's birthday.
Oh, wait, Sammy, who's 19?
Yes, he turned 19. He turned 19. Yeah, he's 19.
Incredible.
It was his birthday on Sunday. I'm glad that we all, I posted about it.
Happy birthday to Sammy.
Like 600, 700 likes, something like that. One of the bigger posts when you get that many likes on this channel. So yeah, congrats to Sammy. He's still 19. I didn't know that, but when I posted about it, I remembered. Because by the way, for reference, I scheduled that post as soon as his birthday is done. So I've already scheduled next year's. It's already scheduled.
Amazing.
It will post on his birthday. Again, that's when I remember happens. So I also have a running gag for Mother's Day where I have a picture of Sierra and her mom, and I put a big old red X over her mom's face. So whenever Mother's Day happens, that posts, and then as soon as it posts, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to schedule that for next year, and I'll do it again. So on Mother's Day, we'll get, did you know Sierra voted out her own mom? And then there is a third one that I will not reveal. But if you look up, I believe, let me see what the date is. I think it's August 19th. If you look at what August 19th is, you go, that will be your hint. But yeah, I have a new one for next August.
Nice.
Yep. And I could tell you off air, Rebekah. I'm just not saying on the podcast. Okay. It's up to...
What is that like? You just have to wait like 10 months.
I didn't control what day of the year it is. Okay. I didn't like pick August out of my butt. It is a day of it's a national day of the year. And I didn't like, so it's like August 19th, 17th. It's like somewhere in there. Anyways, well, I'll forget in 10 months. And what happens? I'll be like, oh yeah, I scheduled like, that.
Oh, surprise.
I scheduled that joke for this day. All right. So anyways, let's get this. I mean, I cannot believe that. Like they gave up those chickens. That was so dumb. All right. So a couple big, literally 3 big things involving Survivor players everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with, I think, the most relevant one. Australian Survivor. I think they have 2 seasons in the can. So I don't know if the next one to air is going to have the US survivors on it. But anyways, they have 2 seasons in the can. One of them is called Australia versus the World, and it will have Parvati, Suri, and Tony on it. Nice.
That sounds amazing. So is it like Australian people versus like people from other countries?
It's Australian survivors. People have been Australian Survivor versus people from American Survivor, and I believe New Zealand Survivor and South African Survivor. I believe all the English Survivor shows. So, nice. I mean, by English, I mean shows that people speak English in.
Right.
Not like England. I don't think they have one that I know of.
It's just like cold and rainy the whole time. They're just surviving in London.
I mean, there are parts of London.
Listen, I would watch that show. So
anyway, so I am looking forward to that. Keeping with Parvati, she is also going to be, I was going to make a Rise and Fall video for Parvati, but then she's like going to be on 2 more shows. I'm like, I gotta wait. I can't believe I made one about Suri and knowing that she's going to be like, now she was on Big Brother after I made her Rise and Fall video. And now she's going to be on Australia versus the World. And I'm like, her video is already like almost 3 hours long. And now I got to add on Big Brother in Australia versus the World at some point, and basically got to redo it, or not redo it, but like, redo it. Parvati is going to be on Deal or No Deal Island 2, along with, I believe his name is David Gannat from, I sorry if I'm butchering that, from Australian Survivor. Apparently he's a big deal on that show. He's like called the Golden God, something like that. So anyways, he's a big deal on that show. But anyways, Deal or No Deal Island 2, if you don't know what that is, the first season had Boston Rob. I do have a video of that on my channel. I do recommend it if you don't want to watch the whole show. I give it like a 6 out of 10. It needs work. But like if Boston Rob wasn't on it, I wouldn't have watched it. You know what I mean? Like it's why. And they knew that.
But you said that was the first season that they ever did, right?
Yes. And Boston Rob, I will not spoil anything, does make it very far. So it's not like he's like some early. Yeah, and he goes full Boston Rob because it's not a show where people vote each other off. Therefore, Boston Rob could be just as Boston Rob as he wanted to be without too much concern. Shows where you can't vote other people off is where actually Boston Rob's bread and butter. So speaking of Boston Rob, see, I've connected all 3. The Trader season 3 will have Tony. Yes, the same Tony from Australia versus the World. It will also have Boston Rob. It will have Jeremy and Carolyn. I know we've talked about this before, but all 3 of these shows theoretically, I think, are going to be happening in 2025. This is a crazy
big year.
Yes. And if I had to you and I have both watched the trailers. We podcasted about it last year. If I had to recommend any of these shows, I will say, of course, go to Australian Survivor. It's Survivor but Australian. Like, I don't know. And they like to they do different challenges, and usually their seasons are longer. I don't know if this one is going to be like a full 55 days. Please, no one tell me anything. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be spoiled.
55 days
I want to watch it.
Crazy. That's intense.
Right. I don't want to be spoiled on anything. I just know they're on it, and their seasons are usually 55 days. We'll see. It's like all, I don't know. Like, would American survivors agree to 55 days? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like Tony, I don't know. Tony
especially
definitely
people who know how hard it is to like do that.
Yes. And they film in Samoa too, which is where Parvati was in for Heroes versus Villains. And Suri was at for Heroes versus Villains. So I don't know if it's the same beaches, but it's definitely the same location in Samoa Survivor was in when they were in Samoa. So, I mean, that's where they've been. That's cool. Where Australian Survivor has been filming the past few seasons. I'm not saying the season for sure is where it's at, but I think Australian Survivors kind of planted their flag in Samoa, like Survivors planted their flag in Fiji. So I believe that's the same location. We'll see. I don't know. But yes, start with Australian Survivor. Then the Traders. Traders is really good. Suri and Stephanie LaGrossa are on season 1. Parvati and Sandra were on season 2. Both really good seasons. I think season 1, I still have a softer spot for than season 2, but season 2 is definitely chaos. So
yeah, I think I liked both. I loved the chaos of season 2 personally, like more. But that being said, definitely start with season 1 because it's a great season and it does a really good job of setting up season 2. So yeah,
season
both
2
are worth watching.
Season 2 is definitely somewhat of a sequel. I mean, it doesn't spoil, but does a little spoiling of season 1. So definitely watch season 1 first with Suri and Stephanie LaGrossa. It's a good starting point. And then after those two, if you're still needing some TV, then Deal or No Deal Island with Boston Rob. Though, as I said, I did do a video. I have a video on the Traders. I have a video on Deal or No Deal Island with Boston Rob, Traders with Suri, Sandra, whoever's been on it. And I also actually a video of the time Sandra was on Australian Survivor and when Russell was on Australian Survivor. So I know it's some self-promoting, but unfortunately, Australian Survivor is a pain in the butt for Americans to watch. Like, I feel like I had to watch it through through some Facebook group. Like, they do not put it on Paramount Plus or anything like that. It's ridiculous. They put it on Paramount Plus for like 1 month, one time, and it went away, and they didn't say a word about why or the fact that it was going to go away. I had those shows on my watch list. Like, I was going to watch New Zealand Survivor and Australian Survivor, but they were there for a month and then they left, and then no explanation as to anything. And it's like, were they getting watched more than American Survivor? And they're like, oh no, we can't have that.
Oh no. Because
this was
a jealousy.
This was around the time of 4142. And I think people were getting a taste of, at that time, remember Survivor was being super forward with their political standings. That's best way
trying to make up for season 39. Yeah,
with 41, and then this was in between 41 and 42. I think people are getting a taste of Australian Survivor, which is not like that at all. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just theorizing. I really have no idea. As I said, they didn't say why it left. It just left, and then they said nothing, and it was just there for.
I wonder if like a VPN, like if you could, use that to watch it, or if it's just like off of Paramount Plus.
It doesn't take too much work to find people who have posted Australian Survivor for people who are not in Australia. If there's a legal way to watch it, I would watch it like in a heartbeat. I wish they would put it on a streaming service. I really would. It'd be much better quality too that way. So anyways, Traders though is on Peacock. And Deal or No Deal Island is also on Peacock. So you get Peacock, you can get both those shows. Now, I'm not promoting that. It's just where it's at if you're streaming it. So, all right, let's move on. I feel like just a lot of big Survivor names showing up on other shows.
Yeah. It's exciting. Next year's going to be a big year.
Hopefully they don't all air during the off season because I don't know what we're going to I mean, I assume we're in Podcast Traders. Did the last 2 seasons, but Australian Survivor, it's going to be hard not to podcast. I mean, that season with them. So they got 2 seasons in the can. Maybe they'll do the first one they got in the can, which is not with Parvati and all of them. Parvati, Suri, and Tony. Though I am looking forward to Tony playing Survivor again. I can't imagine they let 2-time winner Tony get very far. They didn't let Sandra get very far either when she played. Not to really spoil, but it has been like 4 years. So they let Sandra get like far enough, but not too far. I feel like Tony's got to be in like same boat. Like, we'll amuse him for we'll keep him around for a little bit, but like we ain't letting Tony get to the merge and to like the final 3 or final 2 or however they do it in Australian Survivor. I don't know. I just can't see Tony. And then same with Suri, even Parvy. I don't know. I can't unless everyone on the show is like a winner or a finalist. I just can't see why they would let these three get super far, but especially Tony's won twice. Like, Suri, I feel like it has the best chance out of the three of them. Just turns a target on her back. Suri's probably my pick between three of them to win if any of them were to win. So, all right. I don't know which one we're gonna podcast. We'll see. Well, they don't announce any release dates, so we'll see what gets when things are happening. All right, so we start the episode, Rebekah, and we're at the Red Tribe. So that means we hear from Genevieve.
Close.
No,
we hear from Teeny.
What? Yep. No.
Yeah, no crazy, way. Shocking.
What? Everything on Red's about Teeny. No.
Yeah. Wow.
Teeny feels bamboozled and betrayed. Rome then gets snarky with Teeny. Fair enough. I mean, the target was Rome. Yep. I'll do this once and once only. Rome, if you want to. Roam around the world. All right, there you guys go. Some people complained last week, and then I said, I'll just give you the lyrics anyways. What? I know.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Who's complaining?
Everybody loves our running gags. And they love when we talk about things that are not directly related to the episode in the specific order they want. All right.
I think that this podcast needs more fluff. I think we should do more rabbit trails.
We're like,
that's my 2 cents.
We eventually podcast so long that we actually podcast an entire 7 days until the next episode. And I'm like, well,
it's just a live stream, just a stream of consciousness.
Like, Rebekah, how do we have this much to talk about? Mary like pops on every once in a while and she's like, hey, are we doing a winner analysis? I'm like, I guess we could do that now. Why
sure,
not?
Yeah, we could start talking about the episode.
All right, so Rome is getting snarky with Teeny. Teeny, though, smart decision, apologized to Rome. Now, not that Rome believes it or cares, or because he's Rome. He knows better. I would say he knows better. But really, Teeny, though, smart of her to apologize. Was it sincere?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too that like, Rome was upset with Teeny for like not telling him about the vote, and Teeny, basically said like, well, I didn't have a vote, so that's why I didn't like tell you the plan, which doesn't really make sense because like, just because you don't have a vote doesn't mean you can't like tell your supposed closest ally that hey, you're gonna get voted out. But yeah, like you said, I think it was wise for Teeny to like apologize and try to like do whatever she can to mend those relationships. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. It is interesting because like we're getting so much focus on Teeny, even though like Teeny is supposedly on the bottom of the tribe now, but like it still feels like she's in a really good spot because we're just hearing from her all the time.
Speaking of Teeny. So as soon as the episode gets done, everyone knows that I asked for questions for the question part of our podcast. I'm bringing this up because I'm looking through questions right now as you and I are talking. One of the questions is not really, the question's not like super important or anything, not to knock the person's question. It's just that YouTube doesn't usually recommend answers to anybody's questions. But for this one about Teeny, YouTube had some thoughts.
Okay. Oh boy.
I just kind of got out of left field. I'm like, why is YouTube suggesting answers for a question about Teeny? Anyways, they're just like asking Kay's, we're gonna do this, Kay's ASMR journal. I know we'll be discussing winner analysis. I'm just curious how you still feel about Teeny after this episode. There's a lot of negative content at the start of the episode, which is what we're talking about right now. That's why I bring it up. But it also seems like they're well set for the merge. All right, so YouTube suggested it will be interesting to see how Teeny's strategy works out, and I'm curious to hear more about Teeny's gameplay. Why is YouTube so curious about Teeny?
See, that's interesting. And I was kind of hoping that like maybe YouTube would have an inside scoop or something and be like, oh yeah, Teeny wins the game.
YouTube's equally as confused as everyone else.
Yeah, that's fair.
YouTube's just curious. Yeah. No, I'm just saying like no one else's question got anything like that.
I didn't even know that YouTube had that function. So that's interesting.
It will occasionally give you stuff like, okay, so here's an example. Another question is, will we keep getting great blindside reactions this season? Asked by Outsider 1921. YouTube suggests answers such as, that's the plan. Most definitely. We will. So.
That's the plan is so funny.
Yes. As if you and I are going to plan that Survivor will have more great blindside reactions.
Yeah. Should we schedule another blindside for next week?
Yeah. But I mean, that's the kind of answers I normally expect. So I don't look at them. I'm like, YouTube doesn't even know what they're talking about. But Teeny, it was like so specific, and no one else's question got anything like that from YouTube. Like, what is YouTube's deal? Why are they so interested in Teeny? All right, well, keep that in mind for winner analysis, buddies. All right,
right? We're gonna factor in the YouTube,
algorithm.
What YouTube knows. Yeah, exactly.
YouTube's like, oh, we're very interested in Teeny as well. Wink, wink, content. All right, YouTube, I get it. Okay, so we don't spend too much time at camp because we have a reward challenge. This is the one with the big twist, Rebekah. Tell everyone what this reward challenge big twist is.
Huge twist. In Jeff's words, something we've never done on Survivor before. This is true. And it is true. The big twist is that it is a reward challenge in which all 3 of the tribes are randomly selected to go into 2 teams for this challenge only, and then they go back to their original tribe. So...
Thoughts on this, Rebekah? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to be honest. I kind of liked this in the sense that, it is something new. We've not seen it before. It wasn't anything earth shattering. I mean, the challenge itself was like mostly things that we've seen before. But yeah, I liked it because I think it is interesting to suddenly be like, okay, you have to, do a challenge and be a team with like someone that you've never met before. Very like day one vibes, which is cool. And then it does provide a lot of like strategy, or not strategy, but just like building relationships on the reward with like different people. And there's a lot of dynamics going on with all 3 of the tribes being, represented in both of the teams. So yeah, I don't know. I was a fan. I didn't think it was anything too earth shattering, but I liked it. Yeah, what did you think about it?
The only thing we got to talk about the challenge real fast. They split up 2 teams. One team wins that, if frankly on paper, I didn't think was going to win based on the makeup of it, but they did. I did like how at the end, of course, it was not a puzzle, which I like. It was shooting balls into a basket, kind of like a massive carnival game. But what I liked about it was that the increasing difficulty of the next person having to go further away from the baskets.
Yes, I did like that. That was new, I think, because we've seen similar things to like this before where each person has to, get a ball in like a different basket.
They did this in Heroes versus Villains. This is old. This has been around forever.
Yes, but I did like, and because there was some strategy that came into it, because a lot of people were like the first people tossing were like going for the closest baskets. And I was thinking like, you're making the people who have to go at the end, you're making their job so much harder by making them go for the furthest basket. Like that was crazy.
Sam was throwing Hail Marys trying to get it into a basket, and Teeny had to throw like 2 feet in comparison, it seemed like. So
right.
I do like when challenges don't end in puzzles. I like that part. So anyways, just want to throw that out there. Yes, I do like this. I do like this twist. It's not as massive as the Next Time Survivor wanted you to feel it was, or even social media. I think I said that weird. Social media. I feel like I didn't put an L when I said the first time. Social media. It was like, oh, chaos. Well, it's like, but here's the thing. It does put a target on Tiana's back in a way that there was not a target before. So something came out of it.
Yep.
Sam and Sierra, I don't think anything actually changed. Sure, Sam denied it, but like, duh. Be weird if he didn't.
Yeah, I feel like that was actually something throughout this whole episode. I was like, I feel like we were talking about Sam and Sierra so much.
Right.
And like you said, nothing is changing. Like it's all still the same, but we're just talking about the same talking points that we've been talking about for the last week or two, which is worth noting for winner analysis.
Yes. Well, anyways, I mean, we already knew who our top 3 is. Let's be real. Maybe your order of the 3 has changed, but it's the same top 3. Why would it change? I mean, why would the top 3 change? Just the order.
Yeah.
So
I'm debating the order, but I think they might be the same. We'll see. We'll see when we get there.
I've changed my order. Changed my order.
Okay.
I have thought more about things. We'll talk about it. I mean, we'll talk about it. Yeah. Mary and I tomorrow will do full in-depth winner analysis for those wondering, obviously. And next week, Rebekah is out with her boyfriend. I mean, her.
Yes. Oh. Yeah.
Rebekah's doing something.
Previous commitment, unfortunately.
Rebekah has a previous commitment, as it's called, next week. So.
And I know what you're thinking. A previous commitment. How is that possible? Survivor is always on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I am bad at planning things. Okay.
Yeah. She told me like 6 weeks ago too.
Yeah. I literally planned this 2 months ago, I think.
Point being is that Mary and I will do next Wednesday's podcast. That'll be a lot of fun. And Mary's doing double duty. We're going to do winter analysis as well. So a lot of Mary incoming.
Yeah.
And then Rebekah.
Please tell her to make a lot of Taylor Swift references in my honor and bring up the fact that Sue's a pilot as often as possible. That'd be great.
Week I asked which one of us would win Survivor to the audience. The consensus was you and I would get some variation of second place, third place, and Mary was going to basically win easily. So I think Mary should just continue to do what she's doing, not reference Taylor Swift, and therefore beat us both in Survivor.
Yeah. You know, that's fair enough. That's a good counterpoint.
Your suggestion was, hey, Mary, throw your game and become like me, second place Rebekah. And the reality is that Mary would win.
If Mary plays her game in my honor, then I will vote for her at the end if I'm on the jury.
But you're in the final 3 with me.
Well,
you guys dragged me to the end.
That's my secret plan. Right.
Right.
But Mary doesn't need to know that right now.
Your secret plan is going to be thwarted because, remember, I'm married to her. The $1 million goes to me as well. I didn't need to win.
Yeah, you win either way.
I Boston robbed the situation. I just married the winner.
Smart.
I know. Anyway, so Mary's going to be doing double duty next week. All right. Okay, so as we're leaving the reward challenge, who speaks but Teeny? What a shocker. Teeny. Yep. All right. Anyways, has the sanctuary changed locations?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Has it?
It looks
I'm so bad at paying attention to stuff like this.
Either they have done less chopping away at shrubbery around the sanctuary, or the sanctuary has actually moved locations. And I mean, my eyes tell me it's moved locations. It used to be more open and it looked more enclosed with what was around it. Like they moved. I don't know why the sanctuary where good things happen would move locations, but it did. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not like it was any better of a location.
I think this is unrelated, but like I felt like the reward was a little underwhelming.
Like hot dog.
Literally just one hot dog that they had to cook themselves
with no condiments.
You get done with a challenge and you want to just like, you're literally starving. And then they're like, okay, hold on 1 second. Now you have to grill the hot dog yourself before you can eat it.
What could the hot dog cost, Rebekah? $10? I mean, really, hot dogs are like $1. They want a cheap reward. It cost them like $7.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't forget the buns. There were buns too.
Oh, okay.
So throw in an extra like, I don't know, $6 for the bun.
And that's if they got good beef franks, not like the cheapo depot hot dogs you get from like Aldi or whatever, or Walmart.
Right.
No, if they got proper beef franks, it's $1 each. Do you think they have
Aldi's on the beach in Fiji?
I don't know.
Like running to the
Here's
local.
the thing. Mainland Fiji is only a ferry ride away. I don't know what they have there.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. I've never been there.
So anyways, what a cheapo depot on the reward. Hilarious though that oh no, we haven't gotten to that yet. I was going to talk about the eggs, but we did talk about it, but we'll talk about it later. So anyways, they each get a hot dog with a bun and no condiments, and they get cornhole, I guess.
They did splurge to get Kyle a vegetarian hot dog, so that was nice. Then
that
probably
was probably $2, instead of $1.
Yeah.
Man, just like when you try to defend Survivor, and then they do stuff like this, you're like, come on, man. Like I'm trying to like,
right.
I can't really defend a hot dog per person in episode 5.
Like, listen, I get it. Groceries are expensive. I get it.
Inflation's hitting hard.
Oh man.
Yeah. For those wondering about the budget,
I know this isn't the order. This isn't the order that things happen, but it would have been funny if they had like used the 3 chickens, like if they'd cooked them and then served those on the reward.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. The chickens just. I can't listen to the L Tribe complain that they're hungry when they have 3 chickens. That's all I'm saying. It's hard to listen to.
What if they do that next week? Like one of the rewards is just like cooked chicken.
Well, next week's the emergatory. Maybe it could be at the sanctuary.
Yeah.
And we have for you chicken that we don't want to name the source of.
Yeah. There's 3 of them, but
3
probably
chickens
nothing.
For the emergatory. Don't worry, Sierra. It's probably nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. That probably means nothing. I don't know.
I mean, what else are they going to do with the chickens? The chickens are food. Chicken is food.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, the reward is Cheapo Depot Sanctuary. But I do like the social part. That part is interesting. But they should have given them they should give them like 5 hot dogs each. Like, should have been like as many hot dogs as you want to eat. Could have got a hot dog eating contest.
Splurge for some potato salad or something.
I don't care about the potato salad. I don't think
I don't.
It should have been unlimited food of whatever food they provide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
I don't know. kind of weak sauce. Anyways, I did a video. I released it just the other day about when is Survivor going to leave Fiji with an actual answer. So I'm not going to spoil it here, but I mean, obviously the reason they're in Fiji is because Fiji's cutting them huge tax breaks and they gave them the money. Part of the video, I found an article about Survivor negotiating with Fiji and how much, and Fiji's like, we get like 76 million per year with this deal. And you know, so like it's super beneficial both ways. And it's like, I kind of get it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey,
you don't
hard to complain or like argue about that.
You don't think about it from that angle. Yeah. And then you also the tourism part, like they talk about how this has been like a big boost of tourism to Fiji. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, you know, I didn't consider all that.
Yeah, fair enough.
We just think about the TV show. I don't really think about the, you know, Fiji, the country is benefiting off of this, but they definitely do. So 76 million per year. I'm like, holy crap. Is that how much it costs Survivor to do both seasons? Probably. I think Jeff himself makes 8 million in a year. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 8 million in a year. So 8 million out of the 76 is what, 68 million still. That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And only $1 million of that is prize money. But the reality is that's only 600 grand after Obama takes it. I can't believe Wesley made that joke again.
Do you know Obama hasn't been president for how many years? He hasn't been
president since 2016. Yes, I know. It's just a joke Jeff Kent made. And he made it right around the time Obama got reelected on TV. And it's political season. I thought it'd be funny. Sue me. I mean, don't sue me, but sue me.
Well,
but don't sue me. It's just a joke. Anyways.
Right.
I saw somebody last week like, he said this joke 30 times. Hi, welcome to the show. This is our 9th season. I run jokes into the ground and then I abandon them. Other people bring them up. And then later on, randomly, I'll drop them on you. That's how this works. All right. Has the sanctuary changed locations? I think my definitive answer is yes. I have no proof. I'm not pulling up old sanctuary visits, but it does not look the same. Therefore, I think it's a new location. All right. Teeny is the only red player at Sanctuary. Good for the show because that's who they want to talk to anyways, in my opinion. I do want to point out that while the Sanctuary is happening, we get red content. We get yellow content. What is Gabe up to by himself at blue? Who cares?
Yeah. Nothing.
We see what the yellow people are up to. I don't know if we actually see what the yellow people are up to without Sam there. But we do see what Red is up to.
Fishing.
Yes, they do.
We see them fishing and then Sam and Rachel get back while they're fishing.
That's the thing. So we see Red all devastated that they didn't get to get any food except for Teeny. And then we see Yellow trying to catch food with a fishing net that they have no idea what they're doing with. It's not the fishing net's fault. It's user error. That's user error.
Yeah.
Again, you know what show you're going to. Not that I expect you to train with fishing net, but that's user error. Anyways, that's what they're fishing. They have chickens. They are fishing for fish that are alive right now. The fish are not dead.
Yeah, I don't hear any moral objections from Sierra about killing the fish. She's out there actively helping them catch
What's
the fish.
The difference? Fish and chicken. They taste different, but what's the difference from a moral standpoint? I don't know. I don't think
chickens
there is.
are cuter, I guess. Chickens bite you.
Yeah. Fish can bite you.
After you give them away. Yeah.
After you give them away. Yeah. Chickens were not happy by any of that traveling they had to do.
Yeah. They were upsetty spaghetti.
Were very upset that they're still in that cage and that thing. Yeah. It was hilarious. And they're eggs and 2 of them broke. The chickens are not here for eggs. They're here to eat. I know Survivor says every time they're egg laying chickens. Yes. In an ideal environment. They're not an ideal environment. They're at your stupid camp. Eat them. Ugh. Their names are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Mergatories in 2 days. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Bunch of fools.
Yeah, okay. Actually, that's a great point. Do you think that Jeff was so willing to negotiate with them because he knew that the merge was so close?
The merge is literally in 2 days or next day. I don't know what day it was.
Are they going to eat? I mean, they might eat all 18 eggs.
I would have.
Before I hope they do. But can you imagine if they don't?
They don't have fire. They don't have fire.
Well, yeah, you're right. They can't.
They don't.
They're going to bring 18 eggs to the merge. That's insane.
Each egg theoretically only has 80 calories. Okay. 18 times 80 is 1,440 calories. I did the math on this. Each chicken is approximately 1,000 calories, 3,000. They could have had twice the calories.
Man.
Twice.
That's crazy.
They settled for less than half and they can't even eat it unless they want to eat it raw.
Yeah. And now they have to share with everyone.
Now they have to share it with everyone. You can't just eat 18 eggs. Well, these are ours from the pre-merge. You can't have any. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting 2 eggs. I don't know how many people are left. There's not 9 people left, is there? We've lost We've lost 5 out of 18. So we're down to 13. Everyone gets an egg and a half. So you went from having, I want to point out, they went from having 3 chickens to theoretically everyone getting an egg and a half. Because those eggs are not going to last very long. You have to eat them. They have to be cooked.
And they had 3 chickens when there were 6 people on the tribe?
They had 3 chickens when there were 5 people on the tribe.
So that's more than half a chicken per person. That's insane. That's crazy.
They could have like 2/3 of chicken each, but instead they sell for an egg and a half, maybe.
Oh, man.
Maybe if the eggs don't go bad.
What are we doing
out in the hot Fiji sun? Those eggs are supposed to be refrigerated. Not in the hot Fiji sun.
They can be unrefrigerated. Especially if like once you start refrigerating them, I think they have to stay refrigerated. Right. But like if you don't refrigerate them, they're fine, as I understand.
I mean, it's so hard. It's like I was. This hurts winter analysis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to be like, yeah, go yellow team, and I'm like, all right, but like, what about the chickens? You're on Survivor. Come on now. Yeah. All right, we'll try to keep on topic, but I'm like so annoyed by the chicken. I can't believe they settled for an egg and a half.
Maybe it'll be part of Sierra's sob story when we eventually get that. Like, I don't know, maybe she used to go to wine tastings with her. I don't know, her
that's what
parent who has now passed away, and the chickens, they bonded.
We talked for 2+ hours last week. We didn't even bring up the fact that Sierra is like, I like chickens. I don't know if this was last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. I like chickens because I go wine tasting and I pet them. Yeah. What?
Yeah. It's like, first of all, where are you going wine tasting that there are just loose chickens you can pet?
I think it's part of the wine tasting experience, like a package you buy. Taste some wine, pet some chickens.
But then, like, obviously the chickens will bite you. So, like, I'm very curious.
Rebekah,
I need more details.
Could you pull up the Survivor Wiki and tell me where Sierra is from? Where's the lister from? Because I want to know where in the U.S. By the way, for those who are outside the U.S., this is like Rebekah and I are baffled. It's like, where are there wine tastings where you also pet chickens? Like those 2 things are mutually exclusive. Like there are petting zoos, petting farms that you can go to, farms where you get to pet. Like that's where that would happen. But that is not also where you would taste wine at. Now, somebody can actually me all you want, but this is not a typical thing. This is an unusual thing. So wine tasting and petting chickens in the same like afternoon, morning, I assume afternoon. I mean, I guess you taste wine in the morning and pet chickens, go for it. Kind of weird time to be doing that, getting drunk a little bit in the morning, but whatever. All right, Rebekah, where is she from?
Yeah. Okay, so according to the wiki, it says that she is from Pennsylvania, which is on brand. I feel like this, if there's going to be anywhere in the U.S. that this was happening, it would be like one of those northern states.
Right. She's probably from the part of Pennsylvania, too, that's like 2 feet away from New York, because Survivor loves New York, loves the New York Northeast. Yeah, I was kind of, because, clearly you're not getting wine tasting and petting chickens in Kentucky. It's
no.
Kentucky's drinking a beer, shooting the chicken, and eating it.
Literally. Yeah, you're not like in Texas doing like a fancy wine tasting or whatever. Yeah.
Sam's from Nashville, which is probably the most non-southern part of Tennessee, if that makes sense. And even there, they're not wine tasting and petting chickens.
No.
Anyways, it's just ridiculous. I cannot believe they gave up 3 chickens to get an egg and a half each. Ugh. All right.
That's crazy.
Sorry, we're at the sanctuary, I guess. Sue brings up Sam and Sierra running the show. He denies it. Tiana, this is the big one. This is who I think is going next week, by the way, for fantasy game. By the way, did you put any points on Annika? Yeah.
I did. I put 5 points on her, so it was a good week for me.
Same.
Nice.
So married it too. I split 5 and 5 on Annika and Rachel. It has to be one of them.
Yeah.
When Sierra was talking about breadwinners, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's it. I think I threw like 2 on Andy just in case, but the rest were, Annika and Rachel.
Yeah, good. We got 5. Okay. I was in 5th place last week. We'll see if I move up after this week. Though Annika was one of my 2 players, so probably not.
Oh no.
I know. I have Annika and Gabe. I'm hoping Gabe makes final 3. I don't think Gabe's winning, but hopefully he makes final 3 for my fantasy team. Hey, last season I had Banu and Kenzie and it worked out. Kenzie did win the
that
season.
Did work out. That's a crazy combo right there.
The bad combo. I mean, Kenzie carried the team. Bonnie did nothing. All right.
Right.
So Tiana tries to put a target on Gabe, which let's just connect all the dots now. She tries to put a target on Gabe. Sue's like, what the is Tiana doing? They then go back to camp. Caroline is Peacemaker. This is Mary on Survivor. Making peace. Make sure you should probably go apologize to Gabe. Tiana's like, okay, I'll go apologize to Gabe. Lies in her apology to Gabe. Right. Doesn't even tell Gabe the truth in the apology, which is the wrong way to apologize for those wondering in life and on Survivor.
Yeah, it was interesting because like I to some extent I appreciated Tiana's perspective of like, I don't think I need to apologize to him, but I'm going to because I need to show like Caroline, who I'm in an alliance with, I need to show her that I will listen to feedback and like, you know, take that and go do it. But yeah, she really didn't fully commit to the apology, which was unfortunate. But yeah, because it was a smart move. Like I appreciated that Caroline was like looking ahead and saying like, hey, I mean, obviously she knew that he already knew, but like, you know, she was telling Tiana like, hey, he's gonna find out at the merge. So like, you might as well try and get ahead of that, you know, while you can. So yeah, it was like a lot of, I get where everyone's head's at, but yeah, Tiana really needed to commit and she didn't. It was unfortunate.
Can you believe the Gada tribe gave up chickens for 18 eggs?
That's crazy. Yeah.
I know
maybe
you
this
said
could be a new running bit. Like, what would you give up for 18 eggs?
No,
you know?
An egg and a half. That's what they gave it. An egg and a half.
Yeah,
because they didn't even get fire. All right.
I think we need another running gag on this podcast.
This is not a running gag. This is just me.
I'm just constantly on the lookout.
I'm just annoyed. That's all that's happening. This is not a running gag. All right. It's very important. They're playing cornhole and whatever, Sanctuary. I'll say Caroline, well, not a contender to win. Definitely somebody I would want to be aligned with. Making the peace, making friends. Even at the Sanctuary, she's like, I like Teeny already, and now I like Rachel. Yay, life's good. So good on Caroline, like in general.
Here's the thing. Caroline is like the well, I say character, the person on this season who I would love to be friends with in real life. Yeah. Like she seems so nice. I loved her line where she was like, some people decided to go play cornhole. I decided to keep playing Survivor. I just thought that was like so funny. And obviously that's not like how she said it, but
well, no, she did kind of say it like that. She wasn't saying it definitely wasn't like with dramatic music where it's like I went to play Survivor like a Tony.
It was not ominous. It was very light and friendly, but like, also savage.
I was just playing cornhole and I'm playing Survivor, but it was more like just kind of like whimsy, fun. I don't know. Good on Caroline. She seems to be having, maybe she will get a little alliance here going with these two. Maybe Caroline can reach final 3 with Rachel and Teeny. I don't think so. Yeah. But maybe. So
that'd be cool.
Rome. Yeah. So we go back to Red. Chaos, of course, because Rome's there. By the way, Rome making the merge. I said I'm not gonna sing the song again. I did it once. I said I would only do it once. Yeah. But Rome making the merge. Also, I love
that he has another iconic like pose for his confessionals next week. We just saw like a quick glimpse of it.
What is it?
It's not quite as iconic as the last one. Oh, he's just like leaning back and like, you know, what did he say? Something about like, this is my island, or like, you know, I'm in charge of Survivor, or whatever.
Somebody had to claim Fiji.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Yes,
it's going to be great.
Rome needs to go as far as possible. Get to final 3, Rome. Get to final 3. So anyways, he talks to Solomon to get out Teeny. Tell Solomon everything. Rome then talks to Genevieve about getting out Teeny. And I don't know if Rome's moved the needle on getting out Teeny, but at first he was gaining ground with Solomon. And then Solomon went and talked to Genevieve. And Genevieve's like, why did Rome... She's like, Rome's telling him the truth, but why is he telling him the truth?
Yeah.
She's like, and we all know I said it.
Because Rome lied to her and said like, oh yeah, Solomon was like throwing out Teeny's name. And so Genevieve was able to like kind of tell Solomon like, oh, well, Rome must have been lying to both of us. That's weird that Rome would do that. Even though, like you said, she was like, I mean, obviously I said it, but you know.
Well, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
So Genevieve did not become the main character. That's what I thought. Genevieve did not become a main character after last week, but she has become a character. So an improvement, but not everybody was like praising Genevieve to high heaven after last week. And I'm like, we got a third of an episode, maybe, of Genevieve last week. Like, let's
I
see
saw people
how it
were like
continues.
changing their rankings to be like Teeny number 1, Genevieve number 2, or something like
Bruh,
that. And I was
saw
like,
so many people saying Genevieve's going to win straight up.
yeah.
And I'm like, it's been a third
I would
of
love
an
to see
episode.
that. I would love to see that edit where we get nothing from her in the beginning and then all of a sudden she just takes control of the game. Like, that'd be cool.
Genevieve in
But-
Confessional reminds me of you. She reminds,
Oh, yeah.
yes, she in Confessional is what I imagine you would be in Confessional on
Yeah, I
Survivor.
could see that.
Because I watched last week's again, at least all the Genevieve stuff. And because I was like, is there winner stuff in here? But the way Genevieve talks and the like her little snarkiness, that's the best word I'm going to use to describe it. I'm like, this is like Rebekah if Rebekah was on Survivor.
Nice. I'll take that. I'll take that compliment.
It's a compliment, but I'm not just saying it. I'm saying, like, truthfully, it's like exactly who I thought of. Whereas I see like Caroline's the most like Mary. Not exactly though. Just the most like Mary out of everyone here.
But similar.
And Genevieve is more like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who here's like me? Oh, Rome if you want to. All right.
Yeah. I was going to say it, but yep.
Hey, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I know.
No, and honestly, like if I didn't know you and I was just watching you like on Survivor, I do think you'd be like one of my favorite players. So
wow, Rebekah, I can see why we're friends now. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's leave it there. Let's not ruin it. Okay, why are they trying? Oh, I wrote down. So okay, I was so upset. I wrote chickens are not laying eggs in Gata. By the way, this is before the negotiations. I wrote chickens are not laying eggs in Gata. Why are they trying to catch fish? They have chickens.
And also, because they were doing this whole thing, they were like complaining about the chickens not laying eggs. And then they were like, well, what if we just let them wander? And like Andy very rightly pointed out, like, aren't they just going to leave? Like,
yeah, they're not like your friends. They're food. Just eat them. Eat the stupid chicken. They still have fire at this point. They still had flint. They could have made a fire and eaten.
Oh,
and
man.
if they'd eaten a chicken, I would not knock them for not having the other two chickens before the merge story. Like, at least they got but they didn't even like, they didn't get any. They didn't get a leg. They didn't get a breast.
If they had eaten the chicken, do you think that Andy would have had enough mental clarity to not use the wrong side of the saw? I don't know, but it's not, I know we're making a joke, but it's not a bad point. If they had eaten actual food, would they have won the immunity challenge? We'll never know. Because we'll never know.
Supposedly, I don't know what Andy's stance was on the chickens. I don't remember. Maybe he said he wanted to. But we'll never know because Sierra was pinned with the blame on why they couldn't eat the chickens. All right. So Sam tells his tribe what Sue said. Sierra brings up the breadwinners as an option. That was at the moment I was like, oh no, is she going to pick the breadwinners for real over Sam? Holy crap. That's going to blow up winner rankings real fast.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. I mean, I get what like her hesitancy to like work with Andy, but yeah, I don't know. She and Sam have been so close this whole time, but we did see them like there was kind of some tension tonight. So I don't know.
Would you say it was romantic tension?
I will say that Sierra said last week that they bicker like an old married couple. So that was an interesting comment.
They're both of a similar age. They're both attractive. Therefore, they must obviously be in love.
They must be. Yes, of course.
That's how it works.
They've known each other for 9 days. Yes. So I think that they are soulmates and they know this.
They're probably going to have triplets. Yep. And they'll name their kids Andy, Annika, and Rachel. However, Andy will be the oddball and they will not really appreciate how he grows up to be. That was probably
also
really harsh.
They're all boys, so the one named Rachel really gets bullied in school.
Are we sure Rachel's one getting bullied? I feel like part of Andy's problem is that he was. I mean, he had 4 friends though. And he had 4 good friends. That's all.
But it took him a while to find those friends. So yeah, listen, everyone's on a journey, and that's okay.
I actually don't think Andy's like a bad guy by any means. I think he's just a little crazy in the beginning. I think he's really calmed down since then, and he's been
doing so good since day 3. Yeah. I feel like he's improved a lot.
He was
like, it's still, I don't know if he can overcome that fully, but like we've seen a lot of growth in him, which is really cool.
Guess who isn't on the jury? Annika. So let's say theoretically Andy makes final 3. And at the moment, only 3 other people could potentially be on the jury to relay how crazy Sam is. But the reality is that everyone else will have been with Sam for so long that they're like, yeah, that was in the beginning. I haven't really seen that. I've seen Sam. I mean, sorry, Andy. I keep saying Sam. I've seen Andy be a different way for however many days. It may not even matter. Now, I don't think Andy's getting to the end and winning. So I'm just like throwing a theoretical out there of like, he did have that moment at the immunity challenge, and it was a first impression maybe for many, but a lot of work, you can overcome that. It's a lot of work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Gabe did not buy Tiana's apology. I don't know if we said that earlier. Okay, immunity challenge. Rebekah, I'm going to save you some time here. People do things happen, and then you have to do a puzzle at the end. All right, so Andy blows part of the challenge where they have to do other things other than the puzzle, when apparently he's sawing with the doll side of the sword knife thing. Again, had they had chickens in their belly, that could have been different.
But here's the thing. The other two tribes didn't have chickens, and they both completed this no problem. So
the other two tribes don't have Andy on it either.
That's also
who has been notoriously a goof and dropping his advantage through cracks in the shelter and everything else. By the way,
which I'm also like partly like, why put Andy in this position? This was like one of the few parts of this challenge where it's like one person doing things. It's like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Just have Sam do it. I don't know.
Why does Andy keep getting put in these positions? I was working on my computer case this past week, and I was putting some fans in to make it a bit cooler with the airflow, and I had to put 4 screws in one of the fans, and I dropped one of the screw, and it fell in a vent at the bottom of my case, and I can't get it out. I was like, dang it, Andy.
That's funny.
Anyways, that happened. All right. We go back to camp, and it's between Andy or Annika. But if you've listened to this podcast, you already knew it was not Andy. It was Annika. We've said it for weeks. They've set it up. It was not going to be Andy. It was Annika. So like, there was no tension for me watching this. I already knew. The only time I felt a little bit of was when Sierra mentioned the breadwinners again earlier. It's like, Sierra's bringing up the breadwinners. Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that I took away from this whole like section was, again, just that Andy has really grown, and just the whole thing of like him trying to convince Annika and Rachel to be like, oh, I'm on the bottom, like, please tell me a plan, and like, I'll just vote with you, and like keeping the whole Sam and Sierra alliance on the down low, like all of that. Like, I think he's done a really good job, because I mean, it is impressive. Like, I don't know how many days has it been since they've been to tribal, like a week or so almost.
It's been quite a bit.
Yeah. And so like the fact that, because it was pretty much immediately after that first tribal that Sam kind of pulled him in and was like, hey, like, let's work together. And so the fact that Andy kept that a secret that whole time was very impressive. And I mean, obviously like the whole, oh, who are we voting for? Like, I don't know, it was kind of pointless to some extent because Annika didn't have a vote, but I don't know. Yeah, it was just like cool to see that Andy is, I don't know, he's like playing the game well. And I don't know if I don't know if that it's going to be, that he's going to be able to like overcome enough to like win at this point. But I've been impressed with him. So good for him.
Yes. I wonder if Sierra would have considered the breadwinners more seriously if Annika actually had some power. And Sierra and Survivor didn't just mindlessly rip away a vote from her because that's how they forced the journey to be. I wonder if Annika still had her vote. She had the actual option to whether to put her hand. I think she did the one where you put your hand in the bag or whatever, where she was forced to lose a vote, basically. I wonder if she had
they
the
mentioned
option.
That. I was trying to remember which journey it even was. Because, I just forget about them. They're so nothing.
Many nothing journeys that all kind of blend together. Yeah, I agree. The only one I kind of remember is the TK and Asia one. 2 people are already gone out of the game. And because that one was a bit different in terms of they had to run down and back to the water. So like visually it was different in my brain. Yeah. But the other ones are all like, let's meet together. Ha 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 hi. Let's go in our own separate direction and make our own decisions like every freaking time, like get out of here.
Yep.
Sorry for the language. All right. So I'm still thinking about the chickens. The chickens.
Are you hangry right now? Are you craving some chicken? Is that what's going on?
I had pork chop for dinner, which is not chickens, but I had pork chop for dinner. I'm full. I'm not hungry.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about how they could have had 2/3 of a chicken each, but instead they settled for an egg and a half.
Yep.
All right. It's something else. Let me tell you. All right. Okay. So let's move on. We're considering between these two, but we all knew where this was going.
Yeah.
Annika, had she had her vote, Mary's one made me realize maybe Sierra would have made a different decision. We don't know for sure because, of course, the storytelling knew where this was going, and therefore it led us to this natural conclusion. But I wonder if Annika had a vote, would Sierra pick the breadwinners just because of Andy?
Yeah, because I mean, that is interesting. Like, what was Sierra's choice really tonight? Like, I mean, what is she going to do? Convince Andy to vote against Sam? Like, that's not going to happen. So yeah.
Yeah, if Sam even thought there was a hint, he, by the way, chose not to play his one-time idol, which people are getting on to me for saying Rome wouldn't play his idol. Sure, Rome played his idol, right? He's one-time idol. But look, Sam had a one-time idol, didn't play it because he's like, it makes more sense to keep Andy trusting me rather than play an idol and make him be like, what? You had an idol? I had no idea. Now, will Andy find out that Sam had an idol and never told him? We'll see. That could be a factor. Yeah, that could be down the road. But I did think it was smart for him not to play it. Like you said, it's rare that there's like an actual strategy for not playing an idol. Smart strategy, yes.
A smart strategy. Yeah, yes. Thank you. Yes, to be clear. But, and again, maybe it is the edit that's just, I mean, it was so obvious Sam was not going home tonight. Like,
Sam knew it. Sam knew it. I love how Annika's like, let's trick Andy into voting for Sam. And then when she gets got the same way she tried getting Andy, she cries or she gets mad and then she cries about it. And it's like, that was
tense for a second there.
Dude, like you got the same way you tried getting Andy. And like, I'm not even an Andy fan.
My favorite was when she's walking away and she like turns around and Andy waves at her and she's just like, nah, and then like turns and keeps walking.
But as it turns out, it was all just a cover for her wanting to cry the whole time.
Yeah. Which is fair. If I got voted out of Survivor, I would cry. But
I wouldn't cry, but I would definitely do the nah. I wouldn't be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have looked back though, probably either. That's probably not the right move. Though when Penner left in 25 and whistled, I can't whistle, but that's if I could exit anyway, if I had to be voted off, I guess I would whistle my way out. And Penner, by the way, was super ticked. You watch his final words, you watch his exit interview. He's like, screw Survivor. I can't believe I came out here to do this. So it's not like Penner was happy when he's voted off. He just whistled because Penner's a natural entertainer.
Yeah.
So anyways,
it's an icon. Iconic. Yeah.
I like
very good.
Penner's really great. Anyways, so long story. Oh, tribal, by the way, bunch of nothing happens. A bunch of talking about nothing. So
boy, I sure hope I'm in the we.
I will say that
we're all
I'm
voting together.
Yeah. I will say I'm glad there was no analogies. I think
you're right. There were no analogies. That's nice.
That should be a death sentence. You give an analogy, you're getting voted off. That's what I learned. When Heidi did it, I believe that's her name. Heidi did it on 44 and lost. I'm like, good.
Oh yeah.
When Asia did this season and got voted off, I'm like, good. Stop doing analogies. We hate them. Stop it. Stop it right now.
But the thing is, Survivor loves them.
No, not anymore. See, Survivor, that's the thing. So Survivor production will never admit to a mistake out loud. They will Survivor production. Jeff will admit to mistakes if it's a decision he made by himself. I've noticed this. So I've done so much research on behind the scenes and stuff. It's ridiculous. I've got like 50 videos about behind the scenes. Anyways, so Jeff, I've noticed Jeff's trend is that he will only admit mistakes if he was like basically solely responsible for a mistake. For example, the whole guys thing, like dropping the word guys and whole thing. Like Jeff's like, that was me. I made the decision. I'm the one that decided to do it on the show. I should have decided to do it and just like and not told anyone. Just done it. Like instead of making a show out of it on the show. So like Jeff admitted to that mistake. Because that was a Jeff mistake. Jeff will not admit to production making a mistake. Production meaning anyone other than Jeff. That makes sense. And of course, Survivor production is not going to put out public like posts like, hey, we screwed up by letting analogies take over the show. We know how that annoys you, so we're going to stop doing it. Hey, we know that the edit of 41 was very politically charged, and therefore we're going to change that for you. They're not going to do that. They don't do that. They never do that. Production does not do that. Jeff will only admit fault of things that he did, and then he'll make fun of some of those decisions Mark Burnett made back in the day, but he'll do it in like a funny Mark Burnett voice so that it doesn't seem like he's being critical of the guy, because after all, it gave him the job that he has, and Jeff's whole career's thanks to Mark Burnett. Mark Burnett did kickstart Survivor. I mean, so like he ain't gonna like dog on other people, and if he does, it's like it was like a very funny way, and it's also the guy who's like super successful with like 10 shows, and you know,
right?
He also has like
it's
Shark
very
Tank.
friendly. It's not,
yeah. So like when people are looking for production to make mistakes, they don't. So when analogies went away, like they're not gonna like come out and make a post about it and like be like, hey guys, we just want to let everybody know that we're gonna stop doing analogies. They're just gonna stop doing them. They're not gonna tell you. That's what Jeff's whole thing was. Like, I've learned not to make a show out of changing things. I'm just going to change things and then not tell anyone or not make it a thing on the show. Anyways, I see like people like going like, how do you know that they changed the edit for 42? I don't know. Did you watch the show?
Right.
Like they filmed 41, 42 back to back. Did you watch it? 42 felt a lot different magically, even though it was the same team who filmed only like a week or two apart. You tell me what happened. Obviously, you look at the ratings for 41, it was atrocious. People were dogging that whole season like crazy. 42 was a salvage edit. I don't know if there's a better way of putting it. Anyways, I just like, I've seen a lot of people like defending production. Like production's not going to admit publicly that they made a mistake with 41. Jeff will about himself. Anyways, the whole thing. Can you believe that they traded in those chickens for?
See, okay, I was trying to work that in. What I'm wondering is, do you think hold on, wait, I'm workshopping this. I got this.
This is not a running gag. I'm really thinking about this.
It's a running
I'm
gag.
trying to ignore my actual thoughts about it with other ramblings, and I can't. I can't believe they traded in 3 chickens.
If
somebody else could have snapped. Sierra did not need to snap the necks. Sam would have done it. Andy would have done it. Rachel would have done it. I assume.
Oh man, there's too many dark jokes here. I need to, But like, okay, but if someone gets through a whole episode without making an analogy, then Jeff gives them an egg. How about that? How do we feel about that?
What?
I feel like, listen.
What?
I know it doesn't make any sense because they do the edit later, but just, you know what I'm saying.
Are you saying Jeff just has like a dozen eggs behind him at Tribal? And he's like, congrats, you got through Tribal without doing an analogy. Here's an egg.
He just has a bag of loose eggs at all times.
Like trick or treat, here's an egg. Is this a trick or treat, Jeff?
Most of them are chicken eggs, but some of them are like ostrich eggs and like other things. So yeah, it's a real grab bag. You never know what you're going to get. This is a weird bit.
An ostrich egg will at least have a lot of calories like a chicken. Those things are massive. I think they're like
a delicacy, right?
Bro,
they're huge.
I forgot. Like Amazing Race season 1 had them eat an ostrich egg, and I'm like, that is a crap ton of egg. That's a lot of egg. Anyway, it's not as much of a chicken, I think, but I could be wrong. Okay, so next time on Survivor, we have the Mergatory. We all knew it was coming, which was part of like, why didn't they eat the chickens already? The Mergatory is coming. Do you want to share the chickens? Now you got to share your 18 eggs. Okay. Okay, you ready to move on?
I'm ready.
Talk about our fancy teams. Rebekah, we kind of talked about it earlier, but I put 5 votes on Annika. You said you did the same.
I did, yes. And I'm in a pretty good spot right now. I think I'm technically beating you, although I know this is your backup account.
Son of a gun. Well, okay, so
I had 25 points going into tonight. I don't know.
I think I have to double check. I think you might have more than me. As I said, group 1, that's my real team, the one with Annika, unfortunately, and Gabe. The group 2 with Solomon and Gabe, which was my real team in retrospect. Anyways, point being is that I don't think I'm gonna win the league. I mean, I really need Gabe to win. I don't think Gabe's winning. So
Solomon come from behind. No, there's no way.
Anyways, if you want to join our fantasy league, link in the descriptions on Patreon. At this point, you're just joining for fun. I don't realistically see how somebody can join after 5 weeks and win. But what do I know? I don't. So like you could join.
I mean, listen, if you correctly guess who's getting voted out and you put all 10 votes on them every week.
Yeah. But point being is that I think I will say, if I were to join today, here's the team I'd pick. I pick Teeny and Sam, or Teeny and Sierra, or Sam and Sierra. Like some combination of those 3 would be my team. I think who's going to play a flasher game at the moment is probably Teeny and Sam. And then pick your winner pick be Sierra, or winner pick be Teeny. That's kind of who I'm between at the moment. If I were to join today and pick a team and like see how that goes through the rest of the season, like maybe with that combination, you could pull it off, pull off a win. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying you missed 5 weeks. So we're going to do this again for 48. We're going to do this again for 48. It's a lot of fun. And Hopefully next season I don't pick a pre-merge boot again for the third season in a row. All right. What's new on Patreon? Podcasts are early and ad-free. The night we record these podcasts when they go up on Patreon, which is the day before they go up on YouTube, I just made a video about is Survivor sexist against women? Specifically in 3 tribe seasons, because last year there's a huge hubbub, Rebekah, about how 3 tribe seasons are sexist against women and how 2 tribe seasons are not. And I'm like, is this factually correct? That doesn't sound factually correct. So I spent like how long it takes to kill 3 chickens and eat them amount of time.
I feel like it was longer than that. It doesn't take that long to kill and cook chickens. Not that I know from personal experience, but
I feel like the entire process is how much time I spent breaking down stats, figuring this out. I'm like, is this true? And I made a whole video about it. Why is Survivor sexist against women? And that's on Patreon. Kai Guy and story videos, voting wrapped up today, the day we're recording, which means it'll be done tomorrow. It looks like the winners, though we are 2 hours out at the moment from the voting ending as the time we're recording. Looks like the winners are going to be Tony, of course. Spencer already had a video made a couple years ago, so he already has one. Cass, Tasha, Sarah, and Woo. So good cast of characters all getting story videos. Those will be on Patreon.
Nice.
And I am working on it at the moment. Should be on Patreon the next couple days. 10 times Jeff Probst went rogue.
Ooh, nice. I love that.
Of course, one of them stabbed in the bag.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that's
incredible. I love that moment. It's so good.
That's one of the 10. So that'll be on Patreon the next few days. All right. I'll also thank you all for supporting us on Patreon. It keeps us sponsor free. Like we don't have to show products to you, nothing like that. We really appreciate that. We don't have to do that. And that we don't have to sit here and pretend that we like stuff that we don't. All right. So question of the week, Rebekah. I know for a fact I asked you first last week. So I will not do that this week. You did.
Yes.
What is our score so far this season?
Yes. So far, I guess we have each, we do this every week. So we've each been asked 4 questions. And out of those 4 questions, you have gotten 2 correct and I have gotten 1 correct.
I've only gotten 2 correct? Oh, man.
Yeah. According to my notes.
If I'm wrong this week and you're right this week, we're tied. Son of a gun. All right.
Yeah.
Ask
so no
me
pressure.
Your evil question, you evil lady.
Evil question.
The question of the week is, how many chickens did the Gata tribe give up for how many eggs? That's going to be a future trivia question. I'll see if you remember in a few seasons. Go ahead. Sorry.
A few seasons.
Yeah, I'll wait a few seasons to ask you.
Amazing. All right. So my question for you this week is, which is the only season of Survivor that aired across multiple calendar years? So it did not all air.
Africa.
Oh, you know this.
Well, the reason because 9/11 pushed it back, I believe, a month or a month and a half, something like that. And so Africa, they're like, we still need to like make money on this. So they released. They ended up releasing it. 9/11 pushed everything back, but they had filmed it pre 9/11. So that's also why season 4 Marquesas happened in Marquesas at what looks like basically someone's private island, because it was. That's why, like, if you look at the location, it looks kind of like manicured and stuff. It was a horrible location, as it turns out. But that's why it looks the way it does. Like, it looks kind of clean and stuff, because it's actually someone's private island. And they had to film there last minute because their original location of Jordan was not available after 9/11.
Wow. Interesting.
That's all. Way more information on that in the Survivor Marquesas Secrets video. Rebekah, that was an easy question. I am up to 3 points
that was
now.
An easy question. Yeah. Well,
Rebekah's like, I
hope your question for me is also easy.
It's not too hard, I think. All right. Which season was the first to have, because I remember I just did a bunch of research about 3 tribe seasons. So that's kind of where it comes from.
Yes.
Which season was the first to have all 3 original tribes go into the merge unchanged? This means there was no tribe swap, no merging of 3 tribes to 2. This is the original 3 tribes go into the merge. No mix-ups at all before the merge.
Okay.
Your options are A, All-Stars, the first 3 tribe season. B, Kai Gayan, season 28. C, Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, season 35. Or D, Survivor 41.
I think I actually just saw this not too long ago while I was looking for questions on the wiki.
I figured.
So if I am remembering correctly, which is a big if, is it heroes versus hustlers versus what was it? Heroes versus
Yeah, it's a horrible name for a season, but you are correct. That is the right answer.
Yes.
Dang it. I kind of figured. I'm like, if I start looking at places Rebekah's going to look, then she'll see the same trivia and stuff I do.
Yeah. But also bear in mind, I have the memory of a goldfish, which is why I'm bad at trivia. But also, I could have read this like 10 minutes ago and forgotten about it. So you never know.
It kind of reminds me of Mary. I'll be like, Mary, do you remember? I'll be like, we watched this. We'll watch like a season. It'll be like 2 months later. I'm like, Mary, do you remember Worlds Apart when blah, blah, blah happened? She's like, what season was that? I'm like, the one that's the last one we watched.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, she's like, if I see a face, maybe I'll remember. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, we just watched this.
Well, and also I did not watch Survivor in order the first time that I like started watching it through. So like there would be callbacks to things that I hadn't seen yet. And then I would like go back and watch those seasons and I would just be very confused about like, wait, when did this happen? What's going on? But anyway.
So
no progress was made this week. You have 3 and I have 2.
This doesn't count towards the questions, but I will ask you a bonus question. In the 6 new era seasons, how many times have women been voted off first?
Ooh.
This wasn't in the video that I made, but it was something I considered while working on it.
Yeah, I feel like
voted off, not eliminated via hitting their head on a, those do not count as first boots. That's what I'm saying.
And like, are you counting like Hannah's quit? Like, well, no, because that's not a vote off. So,
just vote offs. This is tribes decided you're going, not medical evacuation, not quits.
I feel like I can't name people who left, but I feel like a good bit of them. Is it like, I don't know, 4 out of the 7 or 5 out of the 7, something like that?
Are what? Are women or men?
Are women, sorry. Yes.
Actually, no. Only 2.
Only 2?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
Season 41. It was a guy, Eric Abraham. I believe his name's Eric Abraham. I think it might just be Abraham. Season 42, Zach. Season 43, I don't remember the name. She had the multicolored hair. Mariah?
Oh, yeah. She was like a school teacher.
Yes.
Like actually a school teacher.
Like rainbow hair, basically.
Yeah. No, I remember her. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep.
44. I forget. That was a woman as well, if I recall. Sorry for that. You can look up on Survivor Wiki. 45, Hannah quit. Therefore, Brandon's actually the first one voted off. 46, it was...
Oh, was Brandon voted out? I thought he was also a quit, kind of.
Brandon was voted off properly.
Oh, man, I need to rewatch
46, Jelinski was voted off first, and then this season, John.
Oh, yeah, duh. Jelinski,
so out of 7 seasons, only twice.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's move on. TV ratings. So, Rebekah, pre us recording, you told me about how many people didn't go watch Survivor Live last week because of hurricanes.
Yeah. Because of not just like because of power being out and stuff, but also like hurricane coverage.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant. Yeah. So keep that in mind because literally everything, including the impenetrable Chicago trilogy, was down in views, and I was a little like, what's going on? Survivor 4.14 million, which is down from 4.34 million. Though I wonder if that one was affected by hurricane as well, because wasn't there back-to-back hurricanes?
Yes, back-to-back, or there might have been a week gap in there. Again, memory of a goldfish. I don't remember the timing.
I saw there's one YouTuber I follow called LGR. He had a tree fall right through the middle of his house.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I'm not going to be making videos for a while. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
No kidding. There's actually, I feel like there's a lot of YouTubers that live in North Carolina, which is like, I don't know, that seems weird, but
yeah, they some sort of tax
for some reason.
Yeah, like Mr. Beast is there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that you already knew, but people ask me 20 times a day, it seems like. Did you know Sammy was on a Mr. Beast video? No, I had no idea.
Oh, no way.
You're the first person to mention this.
That's crazy.
All right. let's move on. So anyways, point being is everything was down. Survivor's still number one in terms of the 18 to 49 demo, but as usual, lost to the Chicago trilogy in total viewership because of old people watching Chicago. I really wish I could get into shows like that only for the sake of, holy crap, there's so much content that I could so many seasons to binge. If only my brain would like it. I'm not making fun of people. I just wish I liked it too, because there's so much. Could you imagine getting into a show and you're like, you're telling me there's 3 versions of the show with like 20 plus seasons total. Are you what? And it's still going strong. Like I would, that's, I feel like people who join Survivor now, I'm like kind of lucky. Probably 46 seasons done.
Yeah, absolutely.
46 seasons done, you son of a gun. I started back in season 2. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Winner analysis. I have changed my top 3, so I'm not going to assume I know your top 3. Okay. So what is? Yeah. Oh, of course, tomorrow Mary and I will go super in depth on winner analysis. So keep that in mind.
Yes.
For the remaining players. All right, Rebekah, who's your number 3?
Yes. All right. So, I guess not to spoil it, but my top 3 are going to stay the same this week. So my number 3 is Sierra. I think that, I don't know. I was really debating swapping her with the person in the second spot who will remain nameless. But I think that, I don't know. I think she's in a good spot. At some point, the thing with Sam, one of them is going to have to like make a move on the other one in terms of like voting them out before the other one does. And so it depends on if she's going to be the one to do that first. She might be. She seems pretty annoyed with working with Andy. So, could be. But in terms of like the focus of the show, I do feel like we've been focused much more on Sam's perspective, just from an edit standpoint. Yeah. And we've gotten a lot more like personal content from him. So from a strategy standpoint, I feel like Sierra's in a really good spot, but just, I feel very comfortable with her being number 3 right now. What about you? Who's your number 3?
My number, well, let me give you my thoughts on what you just said.
Yes.
In terms of, I agree that Sam, well, my number 3 is Sam. So we're kind of, and your number 2 is Sam and my number 2 is Sierra. So let's just, that's who I mixed up. Okay. I changed up Sierra over Sam. I can't get the intro out of my head. I cannot get the shot of Sam, then the 47 logo with the woman holding the torch, and then Sierra making fire looking gleeful. Like it is like burned. Teeny's name can be high. I don't care. It's not as high as D's. So Teeny is still like highly considered, but I'm saying like that's not what sticks in my brain. It's the torch holding with Sierra right after Sam. Like it's in between Sam and Sierra. That's on purpose. That is a purposeful decision. It was not an accident. So anyways, Sierra's number 2, Sam's number 3. The thing with Sam and Sierra is like they don't necessarily have to turn on each other. It could be like Wendell and Dom, where they're like, oh, sometime we're gonna have to turn on each other. And Laurel's over there like, I'm gonna take the gloves off. Like, okay. And then guess who ends up being the final 3? Laurel, Dom, and Wendell. So it's not necessarily they have to, but on a good season of Survivor, they have to. So if this is a good season of Survivor, at some point, maybe the fire making, hence Sam, then the woman holding the torch in front of the 47 logo, followed by Sierra looking gleeful making fire. But maybe that's when they face off. And she had to overcome Sam, who's like the final boss, the Rick Devens of the season.
Yeah.
And
I feel like also just because everyone's going to see them as so much of a pair going into the merge. Like right now, and again, we'll see, how things shake out when they actually merge. But right now, I don't see how they get away with that for a super long time. Like, that's why I'm saying I feel like one of them has to turn on the other or they're going to get broken up. Like, people are going to, I don't know, vote one of them out just because they're too powerful.
They may need to pretend that they're not together. Maybe they have to do like a fake breakup in front of everybody. Like, but in secret. But
they bicker all the time. So
see, people might be like, I don't know, they fight too much to really be as close as people were saying. It could be that thing.
Yeah.
But I'm still high on them. I mean, we get Sam's perspective all the time on Yellow.
Constantly.
All the time. Like, he is guaranteed finale for me. He is in a, if he's not final 3, he's in a Jesse Carla 43 situation where he's like, he's definitely making finale. He's got to be making finale. I'd be crazy if he didn't. And then that's the same thing I'm saying. Well, but then it's also, I'm kind of saying about Teeny as well, who's my number 1. She's your number 1?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Teeny's our number one. And it's kind of the same way. It's like, if Teeny's not in finale, like this season was edited incorrectly. If Teeny and Sam do not make finale, they have screwed up. I'm so sorry for whoever actually wins the season, because that's an unsatisfying finale to not have these two main characters at the end. Like, you need these two characters. They need to be overcome by whoever wins, and it can't be before the finale. It has to be in the finale at the rate we're going. Because there's no need to build up Sam and Teeny so much. They're not even doing anything at the moment that indicates they need to be this big of a character on the show.
It's not like Teeny is like over there on Red controlling every vote and like masterminding everything. Like, no. There's no reason for so much focus.
This much screen time. Teeny and Sam do not at the moment. They're just if the show wanted to, Rachel could be the main character of Yellow. If the show wanted to, there's no reason she couldn't be at the moment. So they better be doing something in the post-merge that makes them this big of a character, that makes them this powerful, makes them this worthy of this much screen time. Because I don't know what the confessional count is tonight. I'll find out tomorrow when we do winner analysis. But the point is that, like, dude, Sam and Teeny are getting the confessionals. Like, we cannot not get their perspective on everything. And then there's Sierra.
It's confessionals. It's personal content. It's, Sam freestyling on the beach for no reason.
You have to understand everything through their perspective. What are they thinking? What are their thoughts on everything? Teeny's team wins reward. It's not, we don't cut to the other people who lost reward. Oh, it really sucks. I didn't get reward. It's what is Teeny thinking? It's no one else on the team who won reward. Not even Sam. Not even Sam who won reward. We didn't get his. We got Teeny's perspective.
And that's immediately after we got Teeny's perspective first, based on from the vote last week.
Teeny.
Yeah, it's all Teeny.
You know what Teeny wouldn't have done though? Traded in 3 chickens for 18 eggs, 1.5 eggs each. She would not have done. No, 2. No, okay. So I have to hold on, because somebody's going, well, actually me. There's only 4 people on the tribe now. I know, but when they traded for them, there was 5.
Before the challenge. They didn't know. Yeah, they thought they were going to win the challenge.
They also thought they're going to have fire too, I guess. They were like, foolishly, we didn't make fire today. You went into that trade. You're telling you went into that trade knowing you were going to get eggs. Like, that was your goal, was to acquire eggs from Jeff. And you didn't even have a fire just in case. You were going to get food that you have to cook. That was the goal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They didn't ask for like packaged candy or chips.
Right.
Or nachos that were pre-cooked.
They went to Jeff and they're like, Jeff, can we trade you 3 chickens for a bag of mini Snickers? Like,
bag of Doritos, like anything that didn't require fire to actually eat. Like, didn't ask for anything like that.
But also something that has like no nutritional value.
Jeff, can I trade in these chickens for wine? Oh wait, I need to trade in 2 of them because I need to pet one of them.
1 Applebee's burger.
Liz just like pops in the bourbon burger.
She's like,
I'm gluten free. I'm gluten free, but I'll eat that bun. All right, Liz.
Okay.
Oh man. Anyways, winner analysis. So yeah, everything's through Teeny and Sam's perspective. Sierra feels like she could be the spoiler in terms of like beating both of them. For example, Teeny gets voted off and then she beats Sam and fire kind of deal, and Sierra wins. So we have to have a satisfying winner in that sense. Kind of like Gabler beating Jesse and Carla. It's not that Gabler did beat Jesse and Fire, but it wasn't like Gabler put himself in the position to beat Jesse and Fire. Cassidy did that because Cassidy wanted to ignore what the jury was telling her as they went out the door. They're like, if you do this, I'm not voting for you. Cassidy's like, yeah.
But what if?
Well, what if like I don't listen to you, the person who has the chance to give me $1 million, and I do what I want instead? And it's like,
then would you still vote for me?
Cassidy.
Keep in mind, it's not $1 million. It's only $600,000 after taxes.
After taxes. So. Yes, let's make the joke non-political. It's only $600,000 after Trump takes it, Biden takes it, Kamala takes it. I don't care. It's funnier when Obama took it because Obama's not even president anymore. It's funnier that Obama takes it somehow.
It's a good bit. I don't think we should change it. It's a good bit.
It's only $600,000 after George W. Bush takes it. I mean, it's not the same. It's $600,000 after Obama takes it. It's just the way he said it was like he has made tens of millions of dollars and he's just upset that he didn't get $600,000 and he's like blaming Obama for the fact that's not even $1 million bucks. Oh man, I don't know. It's brilliant. Okay, so yes, that's winner analysis. We'll go more in depth tomorrow with Mary. So let's move on. Hey, this might be our shortest podcast this season. That's
Oh, wow.
We're at an hour and 20 something. So
we're actually podcasting for the length of the episode this time.
No, we've still beat the length of the episode. The episode without commercials like 65 minutes.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah.
We're never going to podcast less than episode 3. We go.
Well, we should just start talking about the commercials. We do sometimes. I'll take your silence for enthusiasm.
I'm making noises. Maybe they're not loud enough, but I'm making noises. All right. So every week, as soon as the episode's done, I ask for questions on YouTube. And I'll be frank, I try to pick people who I see actually watch videos and comment on them. I mean, if it's straight up, if you're not commenting on videos, like I'm people who I see often, I catch my eye, I think is where I'm getting at. So
yeah,
if you comment on videos, I'm more likely to notice your comments on the questions at the end of the episode. Just letting you know, pro tip in case you want to get your question answered. In case you're wondering, how can I get my question answered? That's kind of it. Okay, so first question is from, I have to double check here. Where am I? Okay. First question from JJ Mara. How would you feel if you saw another tribe? I picked this one. How would you feel if you saw another tribe give their chicken up for eggs? I think we've made our thoughts known on that today. Anyways, we've already answered that question quite extensively in this episode. Okay. Oh, YouTube is recommending more answers. These are kind of funny. All right, I'm picking this one.
Oh boy.
Living End. I'll give you what Living End said, what YouTube said, and then of course we'll answer the question. All right, Living End says, it might just be the edit, but anyone should feel decorated for going home before Andy. Decorated, is that the right word? All right, decorated? Dude was air humping instead of sawing at one point in the challenge. So YouTube's recommended answers, 2 options. One is, I agree that it was odd he was sent home before Andy. So assuming Annika's gender. Amazing, YouTube. Good job.
Sure. Yep.
YouTube's other auto answer is, that's a pretty good point. Andy was a bit of a challenge liability. I am responding with that comment so people could see exactly what YouTube's recommended.
Wait,
answer.
Which one? The one about Annika's gender? Or the second one?
I put that's a pretty good point. Andy was a bit of a challenge liability because at least seems like a real answer in case anybody reads it and doesn't have the context of this podcast. All right, next question's from. Sorry. Did you want to answer that? Did it seem? Do you feel like anyone should feel decorated for going home before Andy?
Decorated? I feel like it's.
What's the word supposed to be?
I feel like that's a typo. It's supposed to be like should anyone feel not bad, but like it's crazy that Andy is outlasting people in this game, I think is the point. What's the word you think got autocorrected to decorated? Decorated.
That's such a big word.
Decimated? I don't know.
Probably that. That's a good call.
Decimated?
I think decimated.
I don't know if that technically fits, but
Broad, you type in DEC, I could see it auto-completing to decorate instead of decimated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So do people should people feel decimated? I don't think so. I mean, decimated is a strong word. I think, Survivor is a crazy game. So like, I don't know. I don't think I would feel any type of way like being voted out before or after like people in the game up until like the last, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 people in the game. Because at that point, if you've like been through a lot with these people and like, you know, promised final 3 and all that, and then you get voted out, like, then I'd feel some type of way. But I don't know, that was a long-winded answer, but the short answer is no. I don't feel like people should feel bad about getting voted out before Andy. I think he's grown a lot, and yeah. What do you think?
I take it back. I think YouTube's answers are better than ours because they're more succinct. Okay. Even if YouTube's assuming the wrong gender, at least it's more to the point than we are. So
yeah,
good on you, YouTube. Jack OBPA says, how surprised were you when Goddess successfully negotiated without Angelina? I mean, she did get rice for her tribe. That's true. They didn't even get rice. At least you can eat rice without cooking it. I mean, it's not great, but at least you can.
Yeah. You can, but should you? You know,
you can, but should you? I mean, you can eat eggs raw too, but you can, but should you is the same thing.
But should you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since we're doing all the ones that YouTube's going to auto recommend me answers for, as we mentioned earlier, Outsider asked, "Well, we keep getting great blindside reactions this season. Here's the answer I'm putting in. That's the plan." As YouTube recommended that one. That's the plan. I'll let you know, outsider. We're going to plan on more great blindside reactions this season. All right. Next question is from Mike. Annika just standing there staring at them after being blindsided was both awkward and awesome. Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree. But I also wonder like how often that actually happens and they just cut it out. So I think it's also like great that they left that moment in, because it was so intense. But also, yeah, fair enough. Like, I get it. It's a bummer to get voted out. So, yeah.
Next question is from April. Gosh darn it. I wish the comments were hidden in the home feed. Hate being spoiled through no fault of my own. Now, keep in mind, I posted what questions you have for us about this episode. I didn't spoil anything. So I put YouTube's auto answer if that's the plan. All right. Okay, next question from Kay's ASMR.
I love how vague that is. That's so funny.
It sounds so terrible. I'm like, yep, that's the plan, to spoil you in the home feed. All right, Kay's ASMR journal said, YouTube's recommended answers is so brilliant. I mean, it's terrible. Like, they're not right at all, but it's funny how bad they are. All right, Kay's ASMR journal. I know it'll be discussed in winter analysis. I'm just curious how I still feel about Teeny after this episode. So that's good. We mentioned this earlier because YouTube has automatic answers to this one. But now that we're actually here, how do we feel? Do we feel like Teeny's getting a lot of negative content? To me personally, it feels like Teeny is getting negative content because negative things have happened. But it's always like, okay, but here's Teeny's perspective. Here's how Teeny's going to overcome this. We see Teeny actively working to overcome the negativity that comes her way.
Yes, I think that's the key, and also just that there's like, I don't know if hope is the right word to use, but like sometimes you see people and they're just like so beaten down and their situation is so hopeless. Like they have no allies in their tribe and like they're just struggling to make it through the next day. And we're not getting any of that from Teeny. Like there was one vote that didn't go her way. And yeah, she did a great job of like on the reward, just putting herself in a position to like, I mean, I don't think she would have gotten voted out if her tribe had gone back to tribal today, but even still, like, yeah, just putting herself in a really good position for the merge of being like, hey guys, I'm on the bottom, I'm a swing vote, so like, yeah, anyone, that like I'm vibing with, like, let's work together, So yeah, I feel like Teeny is not in an amazing spot. Like it's not great when your number one ally gets voted out, but yeah, I don't think it's terrible. I think we're gonna have Teeny in the show for a while.
So I'm gonna go with YouTube's recommended answer of I'm curious to hear more about Teeny's gameplay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very concise. I like it.
It's actually not a terrible answer. So
yeah.
All right. Next question is from Y Shuttle. Does the ability to trade in chicken? I forgot I picked all these chicken questions. Does the ability to I picked this stuff like at the beginning of the episode, and then as we're talking, I mindlessly pick based on who I recognize. And does it sound like a question I would actually want to answer? I did not realize I was going to go on multiple rants about this. All right. Does the ability to trade in chickens for 18 eggs defeat the purpose of the chicken reward? Leading question, I know, but come on, Jeff. So I think that's a good question. Like, that's what I was saying. Jeff should have been like, take it or leave it on the chickens.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the thing. Like, you don't get to choose. But it's also interesting because it's like, okay, they won first place and their response was basically like, we would have rather had the prize
the
for
second place tribe. To be fair, second place also got immunity, so it wasn't like they're saying they didn't want immunity. They just wanted eggs.
Right. Yeah.
They wanted the thing that required less work. But I want to point out that if you're not vegetarian or vegan, you're participating in animals being killed and eating them. So I don't understand this moral high ground to be standing on. If you're not vegetarian or vegan, you are eating animals. You're eating dead animals.
Right, exactly.
So it's kind of weird that, now I don't want to do it.
I mean, I do understand because I think a lot of people like feel weird about actually killing animals or like
you don't have to.
Or
Sam
even
will
condoning.
Do it. Sam will do it.
But yeah, but it's like, I mean, you go to the grocery store, everything in the meat section, like that was an animal. Like, I don't know. It's tough. Like, I get it, but also, I don't know. Yeah, just have Sam do it. Just look away.
If you want to feel better about it, take the cage off the chickens. Be like, now they're cage-free chickens, which I think is something I see at the store. The cage-free chickens, and then you gotta chase them and catch them and kill them. At least they were cage-free. They had a chance. Give the chickens a chance to survive, right?
Oh my goodness!
The chickens are going on a journey. You're either gonna die or you're gonna live based on whether I catch you or not.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
We're at that point.
And then also you've worked up an appetite.
Yes.
Like after you're chasing the chickens around, then you're like, all right, this is not optional anymore. I gotta eat something.
You gotta name the chicken. All right, John. Love it. I mean, all right.
Oh.
Well, I was just picking somebody they already voted off. I guess now they could do Annika, but that feels a little weird. Just happened. She was very upset.
Oh yeah.
All right. John's been gone for a little while.
Every time they just name the chicken like the person that they just voted off.
It was easier
right before they kill it. That's so dark.
It was better when it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I remember when James recalled during Heroes vs. Villains, he's like, I was a little boy when I saw my grandma take the chicken and just snap the head off and the chicken ran away. He's like, it was funny. I mean, it was traumatic, but it was funny. Next question is from Jovo. Do you think Sam and Sierra made a bad move? I mean, they were already seen as the big dogs.
Which
now,
one?
if Rachel spills the beans, they got a massive target on their back in the merge. I guess basically saying Sam and Sierra making this move tonight doesn't put a target on their back.
Yeah.
Because Sierra could have picked the breadwinners, and therefore Sam would not have looked like a big target coming in the merge because he got blindsided by Andy going.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. But also it would have been a tie. Like, do you think that Sam would have flipped to vote out Andy?
People aren't going to care that it was going to be a tie when it comes to the merge. You're going to be like, oh, Sam and Sierra decided that Annika went.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're saying like if Sarah like convinced Sam to vote for Andy in the first place.
We're talking about merge target, not yellow target.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough because I think either way they're going to have a lot of scrutiny. Like, were there better ways that they could have played this? Maybe. Like, if Sierra, especially because she knew Annika didn't have a vote, there probably was a way she could have like looped Rachel in and just been like, hey, this is what's happening. Like, there definitely were better ways to do that, but it also would have been a lot more work, and who knows if it would have worked out. Who knows if someone has an advantage, so yeah, I don't know. There were better ways to do it, but I don't think it was like a huge mistake or anything.
All right, one last question. This one, we get something like this every season since 45 with the intros. People start getting the theories about people being presented in the intro in a certain order, and it reveals the boot order. And every season so far, it's been proven at some point it gets broken, and therefore it doesn't actually predict anything in terms of final placement. But here we are, 47. Nothing's been broken yet. So here's what the theory is at the moment. From Rias, R-I-A-S. Not a question, but I would like to point out that the intro has been giving away the boot order. Each tribe has voted out one man each. The third player for each tribe in the intro were Keyshawn, TK, and John, the men they voted off. The first men voted out of the tribes. Then at the very beginning of the intro, it shows one woman from each tribe, looking at Asia, Annika, and Caroline. If Caroline is the first woman from two could be eliminated, then the intro gave hints for the first man and woman voted out from each starting tribe.
Interesting.
I will remember that when I put votes on who for fantasy.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good tip.
I cannot discount that theory. That's pretty.
I like it.
They're not saying this can predict the winner. They're saying first from each tribe, first man and woman from each tribe, and that's not a bad theory. Here's the thing, though. What if? Why would it be Caroline at the moment? Shouldn't it be Tiana? Unless Tiana does something to change that, like gets an idol, maybe. The moment Tiana,
maybe Genevieve for some reason has beef with Caroline.
Genevieve starts entering her mood where she's like, maybe we should vote Genevieve, where she sees things she definitely shouldn't be seeing.
Yes. She's like hearing confessionals that were done in private.
Is Tiana mentioning my name? Anyways, so I had another segment, but my thing refreshed and it went away. Do you know when you're on Instagram and it recommends checking out threads and it tries to bait you with things that somebody's clearly writing one of those posts where it's like, is this even real? But the post doesn't actually show everything they're saying. It's like, no, if you want to read the whole thing, go to threads. It's like clickbait posts, basically. I don't know. You guys get those is that just me? You get that
so
too?
Annoying. Yeah, I get that all the time. Yep.
Like, I'm not going to threads to read these clickbait posts that people either A, fabricated or B, I don't know.
Right.
It just feels
it's like genuinely so annoying that I almost like don't even want to scroll Instagram anymore. Like I use it to watch people's stories and that's about it. Cause I'm like, I don't want to be like teased with this.
yeah, exactly. It's like a tease, and it's like, and it makes me dislike threads, and I don't even care. I didn't care about threads, and now I dislike threads.
Right.
So, anyways. All right. Well, that's all we have for this week. Tomorrow, Mary and I will do winter analysis, and then Mary's doing double duty next week with me. So we'll see Rebekah in 2 weeks after the merge story.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.